As with so many things in life, I think that sometimes we overcomplicate flute playing. One of my favorite things about teaching the flute is that I feel like I'm continuously learning myself. And a few weeks ago, I stumbled upon something that I think in many ways has helped to formulate the basics around flute playing for me. I realized that flute playing kind of comes down to two things. That's right, two things: air speed and air direction. Now bear with me just a moment while I explain this. Getting a sound on the flute is as simple as getting enough fast air hitting the flute at the correct angle. And yes, there's work that we can do to refine the sound and create a nicer, prettier, nuanced sound. But at the core of it, that's kind of all flute tone is. And it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, look at this. I can play the flute with my teeth. Is it particularly pretty? Definitely not. But you cannot deny that I'm still getting a sort of decent sound. So let's break that down just a little bit more here for a moment. Think about this. If you want to play in the higher registers on the flute, what do we generally have to do? We have to raise the angle of the air and speed up the air a little bit. If we play lower on the flute, we do the opposite. We lower the angle of the air and we slow down the air a little bit. If we want to play softer, we will raise the airstream, slow down the air. Louder, we're going to lower the airstream, speed up the air. If we're too sharp, we're going to lower the angle of the air and perhaps slow down the air a little bit. If we're too flat, we're going to speed up the air a bit and raise the angle of the air. And then there are varying combinations of angle of air and speed of air. For example, if we play loud in the high register, we are going to be very sharp if we raise that airstream too much. So there we want to still have really nice fast air, but we're going to lower the angle of the air to control the intonation and to get more volume out of the flute. Likewise, in the low register, if we want to play really softly, we're going to really raise the angle of the air and perhaps slow down the air a little bit. In many ways, tone colors could also be attributed to angle of air. The higher the angle of the air is, the lighter and brighter the color of sound. The lower the angle of air, the more kind of edgy and dark the sound. You have to admit it's pretty cool and actually pretty simple. But then of course comes the million-dollar question: how do we change the speed of the air and how do we change the angle of the air? And this for me is the real magic, because it's equally simple, actually. Let's first deal with the speed of the air. Now of course, you could just increase the speed of the air by blowing harder, right? Sure, you could do that, but that's not a very effective way to play the flute. Rather, we've got two really powerful things to help us speed up the air. The first is to think of a little bit of a smaller aperture. So when we close the opening of the lips just a little bit, we're going to automatically speed up the air because suddenly we have hopefully got the same air pressure going through a smaller opening. Of course, if we close the lips too much, we're going to throttle the air and we're going to lose the speed of the air again. So we only need to close the lips a little bit. But our most powerful tool by far to help us speed up the air is to use our support. And here's a little exercise to help you explore this. Blow normally, like as if you're playing the flute, just blow. And now blow again. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your whole body expands when you breathe in, so that you're really full and open, and start blowing. And now what you're going to do is you're going to gently pulse your belly outward. And hopefully what you will hear and feel is that the air gets faster, like a little burst of speed of air as you pulse outward. This should show you that your abdominal muscles are really effective in helping to speed up the air without just blowing out all of your air. And actually, we kind of do this all the time, right? If we say, "Hi, how are you?" we're using kind of a medium speed of air. But if I say that even louder, "Hi, how are you?" you might feel something happening in your abdomen to help support that. Certainly if you're not busy straining your voice. So that is speed of air. We get speed of air primarily by opening up the whole abdominal area, thinking expanded and big when we breathe in, and then allowing those muscles to control the speed of the air, rather than just pushing out the air faster. Now the next question, how do we change the angle of the air? So the first thing you're going to do is put your hand out in front of you and we're going to blow onto your hand. Now I like to have my hand quite close so that I can really feel the air. Kind of a benchmark is if you can touch the tip of your nose with your fingers, that should be close enough. You're going to breathe into the middle of your hand to start off with, and try and imagine like you're playing the flute. Blow like that. And now you're going to blow onto the base of your hand. So you're going to blow down there. So start there and slide the air down to the base of the hand. And now slide it all the way up to the tips of the fingers. And then back to the middle. And now you can just have some fun sliding it up and down and notice what happens in your jaw. Hopefully, you will feel how your jaw slides backwards and forwards and up and down with your lower lip to help you control the angle of the air. It is quite literally that simple. There's no tightening, there's no tensing. You're just calmly and patiently working to control the angle of the air. And so, as you go into the higher register on the flute, especially that second register, what you want to do is you want to increase the speed of the air, and you want to angle the air up by sliding that lower jaw and lip forward. This might be, for some of you, quite different to what you have been doing, which is like tightening the corners of the mouth and pinching the lips to get into the second or third register. Have fun exploring these two really simple parts of playing the flute. Of course, the flute is way more complicated than that. We get it. We really do get it. If you would like to improve your flute tone, then I'm going to recommend go and check out our flute tone course down below. It's called Finding Your Flute Tone, and the course is exactly what it says it is, which is a course to help you find and discover a sound that you can really fall in love with. It's a short-ish course, around 3 to 4 weeks, depending on your pace, but we are going to be going through these principles and some others step by step, breaking it down to very simple, easy to do exercises. It comes with practice resources and a really awesome community, so go check it out. We're also doing a workshop with this course. Of course, if you're watching this video after the workshop is done and happened already, you missed it. But if you are not too late, go sign up for a workshop. We are doing the workshop through Lesson Face. It's a live workshop on Zoom, which means you are going to be able to interact with me live and in person. You can join the workshop and put your camera off and mute your microphone. You don't have to be there live in person. I see you introverts out there. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Happy practicing and see you soon.